Welcome to match number 4. We're facing a person who likes to play a lot of Dredge. We're on the draw, which is a little bit unfortunate because this hand's a tiny bit slow, but you're not going to ship a hand with Ancestral Demonic, so we're going to try this. I'm not feeling too good though. Our opponent's mulligan to 5, but honestly, that doesn't matter a whole lot with Dredge. Our opponent's tanking on their 5, so they might be keeping 5. Alright, they put 2 on the bottom. Really hoping our opponent's like secretly playing a fair deck for once, but I doubt that's the case. Because this hand is just terrific in every fair matchup. Oh. Unfortunate. So we're losing this Ancestral. Alright. Perfect draw. It's not feeling good about this game. Breach is actually pretty good. Alright, maybe we stand a shot. They hit a second therapy, which is bad news for us. I wonder if we can still win through... I haven't thought it out. So they still have one more therapy. They're probably going to take the demonic. And then we're drawing Breach. Breach, demonic for Lotus. I don't know if this is a win anymore. They have to be taking demonic here. So, can we still win? Oh, they have a third therapy. I missed that. Oh, so we're just flat out dead. Double Icarid. They're not going to use it. I think that's a mistake. Probably not going to bite them, but it's a mistake. Oh, and they had the revival too. Jeez. I guess it just didn't matter. Alright. Game 2. Time for Jailer to do some work. Get rid of the Pyros. And these Whispers. Hercles. Alright. I feel like we should probably keep the Breach package. Let's try this. So the reason I want to keep the Breach package is so that I'm not reliant on Tinker for Citadel or Tinker for Blightsteel. We didn't see any main deck ley lines. That doesn't mean they're not coming out of the board, but I would just like a plan that allows us not to lose. I believe that Jailer shuts off Creeping Chill as well, but it's just another avenue to victory. Like, we could have, in theory, won that game 1, even though that I thought that we were just dead after keeping, or after getting our Ancestral discarded. And if you're interested, the Epic Storm does offer tutoring. You can sign up through the epicstorm.com/shop. Rates vary based on the number of sessions that you purchase up front. But for now, you can see what Joey Nichols had to say about his tutoring session. All right, game 2, we are on the play. Nope. Shit. So this has a Jailer that we can't cast. So I think the plan is the bottom Citadel Outcome. And the reason why is, like, we want the Flusterstorm to protect Jailer. That's a pretty... I mean, it doesn't have Bazaar. I was going to say it was a pretty solid hand, but not really. Alright, come on, Mox Jet. No blue card, so if we can rip a fetch land here or a natural underground sea, we can resolve this Jailer. That'll do, Peg. Let's hope this Jailer can get the job done. Alright, so they discarded Grave Troll, Imp. Okay. Playing Bizarre the Fairway right now. A Hollow One is still pretty dangerous to us, so we have to keep that in mind. Like, yeah, we could still lose to a Hollow One because we're not really doing anything. They have 3 Hollow Ones still in their deck. I wonder if I should, like, trying to be brain freezing them. I don't know. Probably not. We still have 2 breaches in our deck. Or if I draw a Force, this is a blue card to stop a Hollow One. I've seen a lot of cards so far. Force of Vigor. They finally found a Hollow One. That's bad news. Alright, we would like to draw Underworld Breach. Or a Tinker. So it's right for me to play out this Volk, because if they try to fight over the top, I want to fluster and have a shuffle open so we can beat this Hollow One eventually. Vamp is good because it can get us Tinker. So we could try to tinker right now, and that could be good. I'm not trying to say it's bad, but if we do that, we open ourselves up to force plus mind break. So I think I want to wait a turn. The downside is if they decide to wasteland us, I don't have enough mana. I think I'm going to go for it now. Actually, I'm a mana short. I can't do that anyway. I'm just going to pass. I shouldn't have fetched. So, a question that I have is it actually any better to get Tinker instead of Breach? Because if we get Breach, I Fluster, I buy back Lotus, and they never see the Tinker plan. But then again, they haven't seen the other plan yet either, the Breaches, but they probably know. I just don't want to pick wrong. So I guess one thing to consider is if I get Breach and they waste me, I can still beat. Um, yeah, I think Breach is probably right here because I don't have to get lucky and top into a land. That's the difference maker. I guess we're still dead here to Mindbreak, and I was playing around Mindbreak earlier, so maybe that was wrong of me. Maybe that's just a mistake on my part. Alright, so now we play Lotus. Lands first. It's not actually lethal yet. So it looks like they're on a 4 Noxious Revival build. Alright, so I revealed all 3 jailers, unfortunately. I was hoping that I wasn't going to show them the third one. And it looks like they don't have Mindbreak Trap. They just have Force of Will. We haven't even seen Force of Negation yet, but I'm willing to bet that it's in there. Alright, so he stole game 2 on the back Ixalit Jailer. You the real MVP. What turn was that? It was like pretty late. I need that info for my spreadsheet. Turn 8. It's pretty wild. But now we're on the draw. And once again, if you're interested in tutoring, you can get that information at theepicstorm.com/shop and then look for our tutoring in there. But for now, here's an example from Brian Gallagher on how I helped them get better with Storm. Game 3, we've opened up a hand. I say a hand because we are missing a black source. And it's a little bit risky. We do have Needle for Bazaar. Our opponent has kept 7. Alright, you feel free to yell at me in the comments. I'm keeping this. I think Needle on Bazaar into Jailer is probably good enough if we can draw black source. I see a lot of people say things like that hand doesn't play Magic. This hand plays Magic. It just like needs a little bit of luck. Like drawing a land or a black source isn't the tallest ask. All right, so Force isn't bad. I think I'm gonna lead off on Pearl because if we can't protect the needle, and we get blown up by Force of Vigor, it's better to have Pearl blown up than Ruby. All right, and then the question now becomes, do I want to play out the other artifacts? I think the answer is yes. Saves mana for down the road. Helps player on Mindbreak if they boarded into it, or like we just didn't see it in game 2. So here's the Force of Vigor with the long pause. Could really use that black source right about now, though. Okay. I think I'm going to hold that. I'm holding it to play around possible Force of Vigor. Really want to draw a PO. Black source is still good. It's just not as necessary at the moment. Two-turn clock. And I'm just going to fire this off. If they have a force, they have a force. We didn't see force and negation out of them in game 2. Okay. Okay, so in our upkeep, I can Mystical for Tinker. Ooh, they had the Contagion. Our opponent is prepared. We're probably dead to a Noxious Revival here. This has been a nail biter of a match. So it might seem crazy. I think we're supposed to upkeep Vamp for Fluster. We can't die to a Creeping Chill right now. So this makes sense to me. Because if our opponent has another Contagion, they don't block, they Contagion, and then we lose. Where this actually forces them to chump block. Mono artifacts. That's what we have. Our opponent says good games. So that advances us to 4-0. This was a hell of a match. Yeah, hard to be upset about this one. We played to our outs. We kept a hand in game 3 that just needed, Black Source. We eventually hit Ancestral Recall plus Blue Source into Black Source. A little bit of risk reward being shown there. So all you naysayers that said I should have mulliganed, shame on you. But thanks for watching. Match number 5 will be coming up shortly. Don't miss these matches. These matches have been nuts. The PRGJJAR are pulling out work. Yeah, that's what I got. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.